Hello and welcome to Let's Try. We're trying Ways of Alchemy. I had one of the devs reach out to me to try this game. I really appreciate you. And this is a demo available during the Steam Next Fest, so you can try it yourself. This is a dense game. I've been struggling a little bit with it, but I'm finally confident in my ability enough to actually talk about how this game works. It's not at all what I thought it was. It is a little bit like Cultist Simulator. I felt like Cultist Simulator was really dense to the degree that I basically couldn't figure out how to play it, so I didn't really get into it. I'm able to get into this one. This plays a bit more like a sandbox, and it's a little bit more grounded, shall I say. But this is going to be one of those games you're not going to be able to just jump into it. You are going to have to puzzle out a few things. There is tutorialism, but I think right now the tutorialism is not quite there yet, so you're going to have to kind of piece things together. I would describe this as a sandbox RPG in the style of Stacklands or Cultist Simulator. You are stacking cards in order to enact certain abilities and actions. It's quite free form. You get a lot of freedom to do what you want. It's also quite a slow game. So what am I doing here? Well, I am an alchemist and I am trying to train myself up to be a better alchemist, to brew different kinds of potions. Right now, I just sent off my adventure to go and find a bunch of new ingredients and stuff from the extinct hamlets of the halflings, and they've actually come back with quite the insane bounty. My goodness, that's pretty good. A lot of this game is actually organizing, if that makes sense. You are going to be spending a lot of your time moving cards around. There's one quality of life feature that I'd really like to see the devs employ. It would be a click and hold to move an entire stack around would be really nice. I do find myself missing that feature a lot. I also think that a little bit of automation would go a long way in this game, like when a character is done with a task, they could start doing another task right away. But outside of those couple things, I've actually been having a pretty good time with this. I really appreciate that we have our own little garden. You start with basically nothing, like a plot of land, and plot of lands is its own card and is kind of like a neutral card that you can use to build other things with. I just got myself some Salvia divinorum seeds, which we need to make a vivid dream potion. So what we're gonna need is, obviously we need the seeds, we need a bit of water, and apparently we need some materials, so either some stone or branch. It's good to basically get everything. My rule of thumb in this game is that you need everything. You need to make one of every potion. It took me quite a long time to figure out, and this is such a simple thing, a long time to figure out how to even make potions, and I know that's weird, but in order to make a potion, every single potion is made up of ingredients. That makes sense, and each ingredient is made up of a pillar of knowledge, I guess. And in order to make those potions, you need to have a pillar of mastery that matches the highest ingredient of that pillar, if that makes sense. So basically, if I can illustrate that, let's go to our rusty pot and say I wanted to make a coagulation potion, which is a potion you're going to be making a lot of. Coagulation potion is going to be requiring turnips, and turnips have a veil pillar of 2. So basically everything is made up of these different pillars of elements, and because this potion requires 3 turnips, the highest pillar is a veil of 2, and therefore our alchemist needs to have at least a veil of 2 mastery. Luckily, we do have a veil of 2 mastery, so I can make this potion without needing the recipe. We also have the recipe, so if I was to put the recipe in the foundation, then we wouldn't need that mastery. And it took a long time for me to figure that out. The game probably explained it to me, but it didn't really underline that fact. If you have the recipe, your alchemist does not necessarily need to have mastery of the pillars such to the highest ingredient. So there are events in this game. We just got 2 events. We got an inquisitor and a buyer. Let's look at the buyer first. Actually, they want a pain potion. I don't know how to make that yet, so I'm just gonna throw that card over there and let it peter out. We also got the inquisitor. The inquisitor is a problem. They are looking for crimes, and unfortunately there is a crime to be had. Hopefully it expires. No, this crime has a value of 4 and it needs 150 seconds to expire 1 stack of crime. Therefore, as soon as this inquisitor is done inquisiting, they are going to find crime and they are going to imprison me, which is not the end of the world, but it does mean that we are going to be out of commission for a little while. I do appreciate tab to auto stack common items. I really don't like the inquisitor. I can either bribe them or I can try and kill them. I don't want to do either of those, so I think I'll just settle with going to jail. I do have an adventure under my employ, so if I'm in prison for a little bit, that's fine. Yeah, they found some bad reputation, and that sucks for me. But my adventurer is going to continue doing some work while I'm see out my sentence here. So I'm gonna have, I just got a battered squirrel event, and I've been generally dealing with that by giving them a turnip, and that means they give us a couple of extra materials. And they actually gave us some Heracleum's blossom seeds, which are quite a nice boon. But let's have a look at some of the stuff that we got from the halfling. So they gave us a belt of necessary tools. This is great. Every single character, so my adventurer or my alchemist, for instance, can have one equipment piece. Currently, the adventurer is equipped with a knife, and that is good because they're going to need that if they go on adventures, which they're going to want to do. Let's put them in this abandoned church of the three-bodied god, which sounds pretty dicey, and we're going to give them some money to make sure that they are willing. And I could give them a potion. It might be a good idea. In fact, this church says that the adventurer I send, it would be good if they were a master of veil and pain. So I know that coagulation potion is one of veil. It's a veil potion because it's made up of lots of turnips, and turnips are pillar of veil. And so if I send this adventurer with this potion, I'm hoping that they will solve whatever that needs to be solved with that extra pillar of mastery. The way you increase your pillars of mastery, I'm still a little shaky on, but essentially there's a couple of ways to do it. Either via equipment or you drink a potion. Drinking the potion gives you the pillars of that potion temporarily. So if I was to drink this regenerative potion, it would give me some song and 2 veil. If I was to drink this coagulation potion, it would give me 3 veil, or this connective potion, it would give me 4 song. These are all good things to know, but we're gonna need void and mirror. So those are kind of what I'm working on right now. We got our first little bit of salvia divinorum. We're gonna need that. And this has an expiration date on it, so we need to deal with that pretty quickly. It's unfortunate that we're in jail right now. So let's have a look at what we need for the vivid dream potion. We're gonna need salvia powder and 2 salvia divinorum. So the problem with that is because we only have 2 salvia divinorum, in order to get salvia powder, we're actually going to need 3 salvia divinorum, if that makes sense. As soon as my adventurer is done, or my alchemist comes out of jail, it looks like our adventurer succeeded in their venture. Fantastic. We got lots of really good stuff here. We got an animal corpse, silver lirad, and looks like they are starving, and that's fine. They're gonna eat a turnip. We're gonna stack everything. Just trying to think about how we can get some more salvia divinorum. What I could try and do is go to the market and see if we can get some more seeds. We also got a ritual chime. What does that give us? That gives us a permanent veil. That's kind of nice. Is that as good as the brass statue? The brass statue is actually mirror. I forgot about that. So we've almost got our bases covered here. We've got veil, we've got mirror, and we've got song, and actually we've got pain as well because the knife covers pain. So what are we trying to do here? Well, we've been ordered by the king to make one of every potion, including an anesthetic potion, which is the one I'm kind of struggling with because it involves death or void. We can use an animal corpse to make an anesthetic potion, but we're gonna need to improve our void pillar in order for that to happen. It's like our character is out of jail, but they're gonna need to eat some food because they are starving. As soon as our alchemist is out of jail, we can start doing some actual studying. These books we've been getting from those adventures are really helpful, and they in fact might improve our permanent stats. In fact, this monastic rituals of the three-bodied god book, this is actually going to improve our void, which will be really good for us. So let's just hold out for a little bit while our alchemist recovers from being in jail. Let's pay our adventure. It's really good to keep up payments with your adventure because it costs 3 bronze denier or 2 bronze denier to hire a new one. So if you keep paying them, then it's actually cheaper than hiring a new one. We got a new buyer. They want some turnip paste. Do we have some? No, it doesn't look like we do. One thing I really appreciated about this game, and I mean, obviously it's a fairly complicated game and there's ingredients are required for lots of different things, but the game is pretty good about when you hover over something that's required, it highlights that thing, and I think that's almost a necessary quality of life. I appreciate that a lot. All right, so what we're gonna do, our adventurer is kind of getting paid, so they can't do anything right now. Our alchemist is still eating food. It takes longer to recover than to just feed your dudes, so it's really good to keep on that. All right, our adventurer is cool. He's happy with the payment. Let's get him to grind up some turnip for the buyer. Let's also give this squirrel some food. Oh, I guess he's gonna need an adventure to do that. You might notice like every single card is basically its own menu, and that's good and bad in a way. I find it's actually kind of cumbersome sometimes. I almost wish that like when you hovered over a card or when you clicked on a card, it would like pop out a drop down menu or something, because I find that this like pop up can get in my way sometimes. Let's make sure we're dealing with the battered squirrel. You can get some really good items from the battered squirrel. In fact, we got some turnip paste, so we can sell that to the buyer. It would be really good if we could get some more salvia divinorum. I'm not sure if there's much way we can get more. In fact, that was kind of a rare drop. I suppose what I could do is like go to the market and try and buy some more seeds. But here's the thing is you don't have a lot of agency in what you get. You just kind of throw some money down here and hope for the best. So like I could throw a bunch of money here and maybe I get some seeds based on the value that I paid in, or maybe I don't. Let's see what I got. It looks like I got some of my money back and I got turnip seeds, which is like the lowest tier item I can get. So I don't know, I'll plant those. So I'm not quite sure yet how to get the plants that I need. That's a bit of a bummer. Our adventurer here is running out of food. I almost kind of wish there was a warning for that. Like, hey, your adventurer is like about to starve. You really need to get on that. So let's go to our improvised library. This is something I had to build, and it was actually quite a lot of resources and time to build that. So we're going to go ahead and study this monastic rituals of the three-bodied god. In order to do that, we're going to need to throw some money at it and something spell breaking. That's interesting. Or add a potion to break a spell. Oh, are we actually going to need void in order to read this book? That's kind of a bummer because I don't have any void. Even if it was to make the vivid dream potion, that's going to be mirror. I like it highlighted all of the potions, so I could give it a try anyway. So let's see if we can give it a go. Oh, I have some more salvia divinorum seeds right there. Okay, hold on. I'm a big dummy here. Let's plant these. This is kind of a priority. We'll throw some fertilizer on that. Actually, it's better to throw water on that than fertilizer, because fertilizer is kind of rare. It's not super rare. It's easy to get, but we need to wait till we have animal corpses so that we can throw them in the garden. I actually really appreciate that this game does work on a loose logic that makes sense to me. Our dude is kind of hungry, but let's see if we can't make this happen. I'd really like to see if we can open up that book. Something spell breaking. I'm gonna assume that this isn't gonna work, but I'm gonna throw a coagulation potion at this. I'm assuming we're gonna need void in order to make that work. How much money we got 1 bronze denier. It's always good to sell the buyers because sometimes you can get more money than the item is worth, or at least the value of the item. Our adventurer is back from getting water, so we're gonna send him to a garden patch and plant this. So now we're going to use this water as the main fertilizer, and then we can use actual fertilizer for the second part, and we'll throw some resources at this. There's a little bit of muddling along in this game. You kind of have to just figure certain things out. Some things are chance based. It's fairly early, so there are problems, like for instance, why can't I plant this turnip seed? I'm not sure. I've definitely run into a couple of bugs here and there, but it is what it is. This garden patch seems to be actually bugged after I put it in the craft room. Okay, so our alchemist actually succeeded here, which is great, but they're about to starve. I'm wondering if I can just barely get away with this. Let's throw them in the hut and feed them a turnip. I think they will be okay there. Fortunately, they finish with the process that they're in before it prompts the starvation, so we just barely got under the wire there. Our adventurer could probably use some food as well, but we're just muddling along. Let's stack our turnips and all this stuff. Salvia divinorum is growing in the garden patch. This is good. And what did we get? We got a pain potion recipe and a weak poison potion recipe. This is fantastic, actually, because it means we can now make these potions without needing those pillars. And this weak poison potion has some void on it, so that is finally going to open the floodgates here a little bit. What do we need? We need 2 death scents and a Heracleum blossom, which we do have all of that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up the rusty pot. I'm going to throw this in as the foundation. One little quality of life I appreciate is that it lets you just click these, put the card on that button. Dang. Okay, so what do I need? Heracleum blossom. Oh, we need the actual blossom, not the juice. Okay, fine. So we don't actually have all the ingredients ingredients we need. We need to plant some Heracleum blossom, which I've been kind of hoarding these seeds for just this circumstance because I knew I was going to need these. Let's go ahead and get our alchemist in there, and we're going to go ahead and some water on this, and we'll throw some fertilizer on it as well. That'll make it grow quite a bit faster. How's our adventurer doing? What could he be doing? I could just send him to the forest. Good to send them to do something. I find the hitboxes for like stacking a card on another card is not quite what you expect it to be. There are definitely some interface things that could use some work. Okay, so now what we can do, we finally have enough to make our vivid dream potion. We're gonna need to first of all crush up some salvia. Believe me, I know how funny that is. Okay, so you generally speaking get 2 powders, 2 of the result ingredients for crushing this thing up. And I'm actually, one thing I'd like to do is crush up this other one because it's about to expire. I do have enough to make the potion, so I just want to make sure I'm making use of it. The result ingredients don't expire, so like these ground plantain, nettle pulp, hemp fibers, these are all things I got from crushing up the material, and they don't expire, so it's good to actually do that. And now what we want to do, when do we get a blueprint shack? It will require a hut. Oh, plot of land, materials, connective potion. Okay, so we can actually do this. What is the addition? Oh, we need a plot of land. Okay, so we can improve our house, but I think I want to prioritize this for now. So let's make our vivid dream potion. Now we have all of the ingredients. Throw our alchemist in, and he's going to make that potion. And like I say, it's just good to have a little bit of everything. Ooh, we got some plantain. Nice. That has a expiration date on it. It's too bad we can't get seeds from the plant. Maybe we can, but I'm just like not sure how. Okay, so we made ourselves a vivid dream potion. Fantastic. So this will, oh, it's poison. Interesting. Considered forbidden in most organized communities. Oh, dang. I don't think I would actually want to drink this. I was thinking, oh, we could drink this to increase our mirror pillar of mastery, but it looks like that would be a very dangerous idea. What I'd like to do now is I'd actually like to study this other book. So let's see. First of all, we got to throw some money at it, and then we got to throw something spell breaking at it. Let's throw a regenerative potion on that because I know that's fairly cheap to reproduce. Our adventurer is going to need some food. Let's go ahead and feed them. We've been eating a lot of turnips. That's our meal of choice for the last little while. Got some Heracleum blossom. Okay, so that's good. As soon as our alchemist is done studying that book, we're gonna get them on the next project, which is either gonna be expanding our hut. Oh, we got a stray dog. We gotta deal with that. Okay, we got some more potions. Waking potion, and there's the anesthetic potion. Perfect. So now we actually have all the potions we need to appease the king. We're gonna unfortunately deal with that stray dog, and yeah, we're dealing with it in a certain way, but it's fine. We need that animal corpse. So let's go to our rusty pot. I like to arrange all of these potions up. I also got this other potion here, and I need to make a bunch of other potions in order to improve it, but this is an ongoing thing, possibly part of the overarching story. So now the king wants a coagulation potion, a regenerative potion, and they wanted an anesthetic potion. So we're gonna go ahead and finally get that done. And then maybe I can work on expanding our workshop. So let's go to our rusty pot, throw in the anesthetic potion, and we've got everything we need. Throw in our alchemist so that they start brewing up a storm. What can we have our adventurer working? I mean, they could always be grinding something up. They could be planting something. That's almost always something I should be doing, is planting some food. Planting some turnips is good. It's always a good thing to do. So we got ourselves our potion. I do appreciate that the resulted ingredients, like the recipe, will go back to where you pulled it from. So it's keeping things organized is actually quite easy in this game. So now we can finally throw all of our potions here and succeed the king's order. We got a completed order. A royal decree from his majesty. Foul assassin struck at our sovereign. Yet by fate and loyalty the blade met not the king, but his noble steed. Now the beast lies wounded, and the realm's finest doctors are called to its aid. They requested coagulation potion to seal its wounds, regenerative potion to mend its torn flesh, and anesthetic potion to grant it respite from pain. Let no delay hinder this sacred request, for a life so valiant shall not fade. Thus is the will of the king, so it is spoken, so it shall be done. We completed that, and we got ourselves a completed order. What does this do? Give it to one of king's man, inquisitor, or tax collector to get your reward. So I guess the next time an inquisitor comes swinging by, we can give him this completed order and get some money. Our adventure is done planting those turnips. So let's work on expanding our hut. I'm actually quite interested in that. We can expand it from a hut to a shack, which is just fantastic. The first thing we're going to need is a plot of land. So the way we get that is we go to our surveyor, go to our surveyor and we give him a denier, maybe a couple deniers. Again, the camera, sorry. Good to keep an eye on these bars below here, because again, if your alchemist starts starving, then recovering from starving is a lot more severe than just feeding them. Same with your adventurer, they could use some food. You can feed your alchemist anywhere, you don't have to throw them in the hut, but in addition to needing food, they also have energy, so they need to like sleep. Our adventurer is doing okay. Why don't we get this ball rolling? Let's go to the blueprint shack. We still need materials, so in order to make materials, we got to go to our craft room and throw in a scheme. Our scheme is to make materials, so we're going to do that. Materials requires branches and stone, hence why I hoard like basically everything. This is definitely a game that encourages hoarding. Even things like gossip and rumors, those are used to kind of unlock secrets and figure things out. We got ourselves a material, so now we can go to this and should be able to throw everything in, and we can upgrade our hut into a shack. I'm not sure what that's going to look like, what that's going to entail. Heracleum potions are going to expire. I should make use of those. And what was it that required those? Was it okay, it was weak poison potion. So why don't we go ahead and make that after we're done. So we got ourselves a shack. What does the shack do? Worker supper. I think it just gives us a little bit of a better place to sleep. Maybe it gives us more energy. I'm not sure yet, but it looks nice. Next, we could think about what do we need to make the greenhouse? What did we need? Animal corpse, quality materials, waking potion. We need a waking potion. We can make the waking potion. Why don't we start working on that? It would be kind of nice to get a greenhouse going. I don't know. I just kind of like doing things in this game. I like just working on it and getting things done. Waking potion actually requires 3 Heracleum blossoms. Wow, that's kind of pricey. That's okay. We've got tons of seeds, so we can get that going. It needs water, and we can throw some fertilizer on that if we want. Fertilizer, I mean, you may as well use it if you care about time. Nothing is fast in this game. Everything is the process. You really need to just kind of do things at its own pace. The Inquisitor is here, and we can give him the completed order. Let's see what that gives us. I'm hoping it gives us some like a gold coin. Looks like that's going to be a lot. Lots of bronze. Oh, a couple of silver and a story. Stories are quite rare pieces of information, and you can use those to unlock things when they are required. These have a certain tier of rarity. Obviously, gossip is like the most common thing. Rumor is the second most common, and you know, think of them like bronze, silver, and gold version of information. Does the adventurer want to get paid yet? Yeah, it looks like they are looking for payment. Let's go ahead and give that to them. We're waiting on the Heracleum blossom to grow before we can make a waking potion. We want to make something else while we're waiting. I think it's always a good idea to be working on something. You know what? We haven't made a coagulation potion in a while. I don't have any extras right now. It's a good idea to make one. So let's just work on that. I guess like you can just throw the ingredients in the pot, but again, your pillars of mastery need to match the ingredients. So it's a good idea to just throw the recipe in. Looks like I failed to feed our adventurers, so now they're going to be out of commission for a bit. This buyer is looking for a sleeping potion. I think that's like the only thing I can't make. So yeah, sorry. So we got a coagulation potion. We need a waking potion. So yeah, we're still waiting on the Heracleum blossoms are going to be done pretty soon. So you might have noticed these things down here. I actually have no idea what they are. Like I have straight up no idea, and the game hasn't really done a good job of explaining what they are or how to use them or what they're meant to be used for, so I'm kind of figuring that one out. Let's make some more materials. I think we can get away with making some materials before we feed him. It doesn't take very long to make materials. All right, now we can feed him. We'll throw some supper here. Yeah, I guess a sleeping potion will be next on the docket, but I'm not sure where to get that. It's good to just, I guess, like work on the things you have in front of them. Oh, we have the steam wooden mortar. That's kind of interesting because they start you off with a wooden mortar, so you don't really need a second one. They even say this, like you can make another one. It might be good if we had like a bunch of adventures and we could have them all like grinding away. Okay, so we finally got our other Heracleum blossoms, so let's go ahead and make ourselves a waking potion. Doot. And then throw our alchemist in. This plantain probably should be grinded up because it's not going to last forever. Same with that other Heracleum blossom. We're running out of turnips also. I ought to get on that. Okay, so we got ourselves some ground plantain. We got ourselves a waking potion. Let's go ahead and deal with this squirrel so we make sure we get the benefits from it. Don't know what we're going to be using hemp for yet. Got some resources and we got some more hemp seeds. That's nice. We're good for food. Can we make this greenhouse yet? Looks like we're still missing materials. Do we need quality material? It can be crafted in craft room. You need scheme quality materials to do it reliably. Reliably, but not impossibly. I wonder if we could, so can we put materials in? It doesn't really look like it. I wonder if we put enough materials in there and tried enough times, then if it's like a luck-based thing. Like if I put this in there and we made another material, I wonder if there's a chance we can get quality materials. One thing we can do is try and train up our alchemist as a worker. Looks like we didn't get it. That's a shame. The other thing we could do is go and buy some materials. Let's throw a silver lyrid at it. Maybe we'll get some quality materials. Looks like we just got some normal materials. I don't know. The other thing we have is the pharmacy. We can sell potions here, although I find it is not very profitable. It's actually better to just wait for buyers who are looking for specific potions that you can make. The pharmacist will almost always just give you 1 bronze denier for potions, and that's like seriously not worth it. I'm gonna pay for some training, and that'll train up our alchemist as a worker. Oh, okay. It costs a lot of money, but this will make them more effective as a worker. I assume we can do that for adventurers as well, but since they're not here forever. So yeah, no, they're a level 4 worker. Trying to figure out what we need to do next. What we could do is we have this map, forest near city, which we can study. And this is how I found those other expeditions to go on. So I think we need to find some more expeditions. So let's study this, and this is where we need intel. So I'm going to throw in some gossip, which is a low tier information. So this has a fairly small chance of actually succeeding. Why don't we plant some more turnips while we wait? And I might need to buy some more seeds. So what did we get from this? We got ourselves forest near the city. So there's an expedition. You can't send your alchemist on adventures, by the way. You can only send the adventure. So you're always gonna need to have an adventure. I think we should feed him before he goes and make sure he's, full on energy. We really need some more turnips. I'm gonna go ahead and send our alchemist to the market and buy some more seeds if we can. We got some turnip seeds. Cool. Let's buy some more seeds. I'm missing some turnips. All right, we got a new buyer. They're looking for a weak poison potion. Interesting. We can make that. Death Scent, and Heracleum Blossom. We do have one to spare, so let's actually get that going. I'm just gonna get that going before I send our adventurer off. Okay, so our foundation is gonna be a weak poison potion. It's like we do have all of the things we need. Throw in the alchemist, start that going. I'll get our adventurer to plant some turnip seeds while we wait, just to make sure that we always have some food going, And then as soon as all of this is done, then we can have our alchemist. Oh, we got 2 potions for the price of 1 there. It's actually not a good thing to have, because if an inquisitor comes by, they're going to hit us with the big you've committed crimes hammer. We got some really good stuff for that. Maybe I'll give it to the adventurer. What does this adventure say it needs? Masters of Pain and Veil. It would be a good idea to actually give them a coagulation potion, because that's Veil, and they have a knife, so they're good for pain. We'll send them with the turnip, and we'll send them with the bronze denier. And hopefully this will give us some good materials. We still need to plant another turnip seed, so let's get that going. This garden patch is permanently broken. I'm very sad about that, actually. Looks like we'll need to get some quality materials before we can use that garden patch, because then we'll upgrade it to a greenhouse. I've been bumping into quite a few problems. Despite all that, I've been really enjoying my time with this. Oh, now our alchemist is starving. Damn it. Buyer wants a waking potion. Well, since I don't have quality materials, I could do that. I could sell that to them, but what do we need to make that again is my only concern. What does a waking potion need? 3 Heracleum Blossoms. We could get that from our seeds. Sewing mills will, I don't know. I don't know if it's worth selling. We're good for money. I think we're pretty good for money. What we're not good for is getting plants. Did they not succeed? Are wounded and unable to continue their journey. The expedition will have to end prematurely. Oops. And so they got a wound. Scars are kind of the fail condition of this game. If your alchemist gets 5 scars, the game ends. If an adventurer gets a 5th scar, I assume they just like die and then they become a human corpse, and then you can use that to brew more potions. Adventure, I'm gonna need you to plant some more seeds. Suppose we could train our alchemist up a little bit more now that we have some more money. It's really expensive. You know what? I assume it costs more every single time we do it, so maybe it's actually not a bad idea to get some more money. That was not worth it. 4 bronze denier. I don't think that was worth it. We've got a stray dog. Let's go ahead and deal with that. Got some more animal corpse, some more scent of death, which is something we can definitely use. Okay, so our adventurer is going to want payment pretty soon. They're also pretty hungry. Let's go ahead and get them a turnip. Oh, we're going to need to send them on to the forest again. And like I say, I mean, the game, you got to take it at its own pace. It's not a game you could rush things. Okay, so the shack overfed us, which means that we actually have a lot more time than we would normally have. Oh, so they're looking for payment now. Let's give them some payment. Cool. We almost lost our adventure there, I think. Let's try again on this venture. Give him the coagulation potion again. I'm pretty sure it's just gonna be a chance-based thing. I'm hoping that's the case. One thing we could do is work on this potion over here. Regenerative potion, pain potion, weak poison potion. So what does a pain potion cost? Heracleum juice, animal corpse. We can actually get that going right now. Oh, we only have 1 Heracleum juice? Oh, that sucks. Well, I guess we could plant some more Heracleum. Like we could send our dude to the forest edge, I suppose. Buyer is looking for a single turnip. We can definitely spare one of those. They will give us 2 bronze. Definitely a turnip is worth less than 2 bronze, so we're good with that. Our dude did not succeed again. Masters of Pain and Veil. Did they get themselves another scar? Remedy for trauma. I guess we could give them the coagulation potion now. We can always make more of those. Looks like that didn't work. Looks like they died. Oof. And now we have a crime lingering over our head for quite a long time. Shoot. There's things we can do with this human corpse. So that's going to be a problem the next time Inquisitor comes by. We're also going to have to pay for a new adventurer. So that's not great. None of that was very good. What can we do? I mean, first of all, let's deal with this human corpse in the only way we know how, by putting it in our mortar and pestle, of course. Hire a new adventurer soon enough. I'm not sure what we need for this forest near the city. Maybe we need a more powerful veil potion, or maybe we need more money. Let's see what I know we have a better veil potion. I think if we go to a rusty pot, yeah, okay, so well, actually the coagulation potion is better veil than the regenerative one, but what if we try a regenerative one? It's actually more expensive to make because we need amber for that. I immediately miss our adventure as soon as they're gone. It's gonna take 3 minutes to break down that human corpse. That's kind of wild. Our buyer wants an animal corpse. I mean, sure, here you go. Why do you need that? Of course the Inquisitor is here. I mean, they say that you never expect them, but I expected them to arrive because it would be very inopportune for them to do so. We could bribe them, but it usually costs a little bit more to bribe them every single time they come. This is gonna cost us 5 bronze denier, but I think it's worth it because I don't want to go to prison right now. We got a new King's Order. We need a connective potion and a repair potion. I don't know how to make a repair potion just yet. Uh-oh. I don't have anyone to deal with that stray dog, so that's a problem. Well, that's a problem for future me, I think. Might end up hurting our alchemist while he's busy doing other things. Either way, I'm gonna leave this here. This is a small slice of what gameplay looks like for Ways of Alchemy. I like this game a lot. I do think that a little bit more guidance would be good, but for the time being, I think it's actually quite effective at what it aims to do. It definitely has that kind of freeform sandbox vibe. I really enjoy that aspect of it. I kind of wish there's a bit more experimentation. The potion brewing aspect of this game feels quite limited in its current form, but maybe I haven't gotten to the point yet where I can just like throw ingredients together and see what happens. It definitely reminds me stylistically to a Potion Craft Alchemist Simulator. It reminds me of that, but it's almost like the Potion Craft Alchemist Simulator combined with the Cultist Simulator. Like it's got a little bit of both of those things together. This is Ways of Alchemy. You can check this out if you want. The demo's up right now. Link is in the description. Let me know what you think of this game in the comments and maybe hit the like button. Consider subscribing. I'll see you guys next time. Take it easy.